Well, hello everybody out there. I'm finally glad to be coming back again. This last week after the blowout I was having to give out, I've had really good fruits. I can say that the response to the video was very exciting and affirming for me, so thank you for everybody who listened to me and loves me anyway, despite my feelings and the way I express them and my thoughts and the way I express them and my feelings. He loves me anyway. Thank you. I love you too. Love, 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 love. I wanted to say that after really getting out all that rage and seeing that people still love me in the midst of it, it helped something and it triggered something in me. And for two or 3 days till Wednesday, I dropped down into just the bitter sadness. But I was able to sit for an hour with my friend's help, just sitting there without talking and just feel the sadness and cry. And it's some of that forbidden sadness. It's so painful, so difficult to get through. And I had a couple rounds of that. I felt a little better. And then, bam! The day before yesterday and yesterday were yesterday I thought I was going to lose my mind. In fact, I did feel like I was losing my mind last night. I felt the oppression, the problems, everything was just getting on. I can't think with it. And so I was working through it. I had my friend. We had a lot of time to sit by the water and take care. And before I went to bed, I had gone, because I didn't know where I was going to get my money, but my friend called me, and this morning I rode my bike, a McDonald's bike with a hat and a shirt, giving out free Chiefs tattoos to the people at the Chiefs Stadium, which was a fantastic gig. And in the past, I would have gotten really anxious being at a big event like that, but I didn't today. And I want to tell you what happened last night. So I was feeling the awfulness, just, oh, what am I going to do? And I don't know how to fix this problem and this problem, and these problems are problems now, and I have a problem, and I don't know how to solve the problem. And I was feeling like my mind was starting to unravel. And I've always been very scared about this. And out comes this feeling of this demon, or what seems like a demon to me, which is just, right? It seems like a demon to me inside. But last night I got to the point where I just didn't, I'm like, I have to let this something change. And so I felt that demon, what I was so afraid of, come alive more in my body and just kind of take over. And I really liked it. And then I was afraid, like, oh, am I demon possessed? Or, what is this? And what I realized when I surrendered and let that, what I had been so afraid of, just eat me, it didn't actually eat me at all. It just ate my fears. It took out old traumas and ate them. It was the funniest thing. If I did, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to do that. If it wanted to cut it, it's like, it just doesn't care. It'll just take care of it. And so I let that energy take care. And I realized it was almost like we were buddies then. This thing that had felt so, I was so afraid, to let other people see. It was like my buddy, and I could see that it was my ally actually helping me. And that prompted another process of allowance. And I laid down, and I was like, how am I going to get up? But I prayed. And I'd given many prayers in the day, and at 12, my friend and I had seen a deer run across the road with the biggest rack, only one deer with a huge rack, and we both knew it was a great spirit message that last night. So I felt like the guides and the connections were close, but with this feeling, it's so hard to connect to them. So I was laying there, and suddenly something changed, and I was looking inside, and I was like, oh, and certain patterns that I could see that I just haven't been paying attention to. Patterns like little interior, if you close your eyes, at first it's just black, but after you look for a while, there's little stuff. You didn't know what to make of it, but the more you look, you'll see more, and it has a form that's actually discernible. anyhow, I was playing with that and picking, and the guidance was telling me to really pick and choose what I liked. And I was used to this. Well, I know people like this, and I know people like this, but I still didn't feel like what I liked. And I realized that some of the patterns that I had never seen before. There was a whole energy that was coming, and I was like, it's me! And it's like I'd never seen it before, because it's different than every other being. Just like everybody. We're all unique in that way, and we have a unique signature. And it was like I was experiencing the uniqueness of that signature, and I loved it. And I was like, oh, this is what I've been missing. I love this. And I went further, and suddenly it was like I could open up better in my mind and my imagination, and I connected with different parts of the world, with some of the old masters, and I suddenly felt the presence, that there were several of these older masters, specifically from India, who were coming to me, and they were bowing to me. And I was like, you guys, like, you're the teachers, I'm just this crazy guy. But when they bowed to me, I knew that it was right, and I knew that it was right that they would come and honor me. And it was really lovely. And so I felt like, here I am going through this, like, what feels like the awfulness of the world, and yet here they come to, like, help me and come be with me. And it opened up more, and I started feeling like I can just imagine my organs to feel better. I practiced this kind of thing, but where I was there, I was like, of course. And I started imagining, and then I had a full-on vision experience of the masters come around, and I felt the sense of the heavens open up, and the celestial radiance start to come down. And in my world, it was like, there was a couple of moments of, oh, I can't believe it. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know it's so radiant up there, but down here, how's that radiance going to come down here? And I could feel it just coming throughout my body, this radiance from the celestial cities, from the heavenly civilizations of consciousness that are helping us. I could feel that radiance. And it's like, I can't do it fully. It's just a really high frequency glitter, sparkle, effervescent of freedom, safety, power, clarity. And I could feel that it's through our bodies that the celestial cities are coming to bring to other people, and it was through my body that it was supposed to come. And so after the celestial cities came and I felt the masters gathered around me, I'd been blocked for a while. Like, God, I can't quite get the hook up. Because some of the old childhood conditioning, because yesterday I was at a conscious parenting class, and she brought up what happened to us up to the age of 7. And I remember this terrible tragedy that at 7 I remembered. It was such a tragedy for me. It's hard to describe what it is to other, but in my little world, my dad, he had a 7 candle. He sent me a 7 candle, a box of chocolate-covered cherries, and a football jersey. And at that time, it came 2 days late. And I can remember I was feeling so disappointed that I hadn't heard from him for my birthday. And he had said he was going to get me a baseball. And when I got the 7 candle, I remember feeling like so disappointed, so tragically disappointed. Like, it's too late to have a 7 candle. I can't put it on my cake. And I don't like chocolate-covered cherries. Like, why would you send me that? If you knew me at all, you would know that I don't like them. And then the football jersey, I didn't like football when I was 7. And I thought that was I was completely out of my world. And I felt this sense of, it was late, I didn't get to hear from you, you didn't get me what you said you were going to get me, and what you got me, I knew, even at 7, I knew that Carmen had picked it out for me, because you wouldn't have picked it out to my dad. And anyway, that was what, 33 years ago? But that 7 cycle, right there at the cusp, that feeling of tragedy, I can remember 2 months later at Halloween at 7, I was already like, nope, I'm too old for Halloween. I already felt jaded and cynical with that feeling of tragedy. I've talked about this story and I've worked through it, but the mind-numbing rage pain of disappointment, of what felt crippling disappointment, and nobody to talk to about it. Nobody. I just hid the little candle. I remember I specifically hid it in my drawer and I kept it for years. Just hid it away. And yesterday, her talking brought that out, and it was just hurting me so badly. That's part of what I had to go through. But after breaking through all that and feeling the celestial realms last night, and then seeing that I had no anxiety at the Chiefs game, and that things are being arranged to take care of me, I just need to let it go. I did want to say that last time I had said I got to make a big change, and me riding a bike at the Chiefs game for McDonald's, that's not something I would do normally, but it felt like a refreshing change of pace. And I also played frisbee golf today for the first time outside in the grass. It was so beautiful. And it was so wonderful to be in the sun with old friends, my really special friend here who I haven't seen in months and just came to visit. Anyhow, there's been a lot of wonderful changes. I've seen so many things come to bear just in the last week of epic, emotional change coming through my body and loving it. So it's great to come, even yesterday, I'd gotten to such an intensity that I felt like, not suicide, but I've got to leave everything. I can't live like this. This kind of pain and fear is too much to tolerate. And then to have that uplifting. And then today's been a very strong and powerful day. So thank y'all. Love y'all. Oh, I gotta do one more thing. Pelikole kinsa koleta. Honna kinapa. Peko yata bana. Kibori yata nekina. Upanita bata. Ha!